Hi everybody, I know it's been a while since I've posted a video and I am sick, so pardon my coughing and sore throat and everything else like that. But this has been something that I've been wanting to make for a long time, and I've kind of sort of addressed it in the past, but I feel like it needs its own video. And there's a couple of other videos that have been uploaded in regards to the same subject recently. And I'm glad, because it makes me realize, that it's in the air. This subject is in the air. And she does that a lot. People will just start popping up online and all over social media and everywhere else, just kind of bringing up one subject in particular. One issue in particular, and they'll all be talking about it, be like, yeah, I've been thinking about the same exact thing, isn't that weird? It's like, actually, no, it's not weird. It's kind of like a mass email being sent to everybody to discuss, so I like it when that happens. So the subject matter in particular is something that's kind of important, that a lot of people need to acknowledge, and it's yet again another um, I guess, sensitive subject. It's a sensitive topic. And that is the fact that, or the notion that Santa Muerte accepts everybody, right? Because she's seen as a reaper, she's seen as death, she's seen as a motherly force, she's seen as these universal viewpoints that she's seen as. Okay, everybody agrees on this kind of universal imagery and energy. So they're like, well, okay, so she accepts everybody, right? And people want to boil it down to like race and gender and sexuality and status, stuff like that. It's like, no. That's not what we're discussing here. What we're discussing here is the fact that everybody says that she accepts everybody. Okay, this is true. In my experience, it is true that at some point or another, she accepts everybody. This is indeed fact. But if we're talking about the same Santa Muerte in which you want to light candles to and petition for something in particular that you need, then that's a whole other subject matter. I'm not saying it's a separate entity. I'm not saying she's a separate spirit. I'm saying that's a whole other matter. No. It doesn't always happen for everybody. It doesn't always manifest quickly for everybody. And I know people don't like that, because we live in a world where we all get what we want. We live in a society, at least in America, North America, where we ask for something and we get it. And it's just a matter of price, right? In a lot of cases, it's just a matter of, oh, well, I just got to give more and she'll give me. Well, in most cases, yeah, that's true. But you have to already have had a relationship established in order for that to happen. Why she won't appear to you, why she won't come to you, why she won't help you, why she won't kind of have your back in so many words. Well, I'm just one person and I can only speak from my experience and from what I've seen, but it has to do with need, and it has to do with experience, and it has to do with your position. First and foremost, you have to be genuine. Like in the spirit world, for the most part, they have more of an aerial view, and they can see things that we can't, and we cannot hide the truth from them. You can think that you're tricking a spirit, but you're not. I'm not saying that spirits know everything. No, they don't. But they know a little bit more than we do, and they can definitely see through motives. So, one, if you're approaching her and you intend on only using her temporarily, she's probably going to be like, well then, well, you know, what do I get out of all this? You know, like I want a permanent situation here. I want commitment. You know, I want to be able to be here, like part of your family. I don't want to be one of those situations. And like, I'm going to give you an example. Like you go to the Humane Society, or you go to an animal shelter and you only adopt a puppy for Christmas and you intend on getting rid of it by February. That ain't how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to adopt that puppy for the rest of its life, you know, and take care of it and take it to the vet and give it attention and get it love. You don't just break out the puppy whenever relatives come over. You don't just break out the puppy when friends come over as, look, this is entertainment. Oh, and you definitely don't break out the puppy to earn cool points, you know? So if that's your intention, I'm sorry, but she's going to see through it and she's going to be like, yeah, no, buddy, ain't going to work. Ain't going to work for me, ain't going to work for you, because that's not real. Okay, so secondly, she might not appear to you. She might not assist you. She might not get back to you at all, no matter how much you try, if you're not in a situation in which you really need her. Let's be real here. I mean, most people go to her because they're desperate. Or most people ask her because they've run out of options. You know, I mean, you don't petition death for a Lamborghini. You know, some people do, but let's see how well that works out for them. People go to her because they don't know if they're going to live or die in the next 24 hours. People go to her because it's from sheer desperation. That's the people that go to her. You know, like, oh my God, I got like 4 kids and I just lost my job and I have no rent money. We are literally going to be out in the streets and I got nobody else to help me. And then they petition her and then boom, out of nowhere, you know, the money comes in, you know? She's not going to really respond to people that are just being greedy. You know, she's not going to respond immediately to people who are just trying to have their cake and eat it too, you know? So, yeah, I mean, you can get upset all day long. Well, you know, I bought this and I got this and I did this and I did that. It's like, yeah, but what was your intention? Were you really desperate? Or where were you coming at it from? You know, because pretend she's another person. So you go up and you walked up to a stranger and you're like, okay, I'm going to buy you a hot meal. I'm going to drive you home. I'm going to introduce you to my family. But I'm only going to do it this one time. And I want you to help me get these menial things that I really don't need for the rest of my life. You do that for me. It's a kind of shitty example, but it's an example. So it's all about, you know, once again, being genuine, what your intentions are. And do you really need it? Do you really need her assistance? You know? The people of old, the old schoolers, I mean, they really only did this because they had to. It's a matter of survival. Now that she's a fad, it's like, oh, I'm part of the cool kids now because I have her. It's like, actually, no, you know, you have her because you had to. You know, it's not a play toy, you know? So, yeah, so she might not appear to you if you don't need her, you know? She's like last resort to a lot of people, and not people that are devoted to her don't want to hear that, but it's true. And another thing is she might appear to you if, and this is kind of like a side note, she'll appear to you if you've already had a near-death experience, if you've already been through trauma, if you've walked out of a situation in which you should have died, you know, if you have family members that worked with her, she recognizes that energy. So she's like, hey, your aunt or your great grandma, we used to be buddies, you know, you want to hook up? Or, you know, she's trying to prevent you from getting into that situation. But usually it's because there's a foreknowledge, you know, or there's a recognition. It's like attracts like. She's a certain kind of current. If your current matches that current, they're going to attract. If your current is all about something else in particular, they're going to miss, you know? So, people, like I said, people are getting upset. She hasn't come to me. I got this. I got that for her. I got that for her. I got that for her. It's like, I sympathize for real. Like, I would be just as frustrated. I've actually had that happen to me with other spirits. Like, they just didn't show up, you know? And it's because we weren't connecting on the same current. And, you know, having her with you is like, people should know. Old schoolers will know, like, if you have Santa Muerte, you've been through some shit. Like, you're living paycheck to paycheck, or sorry, you're living day to day. You had some major trauma recently or in the past. You know, there's a matching of energy there. So the point I'm trying to make also is, just because after a month and after all your attempts, you don't get a connection, you don't feel like you got any signs, you don't feel like you got any dreams, you don't feel like you've seen any imagery, that intuition of yours has told you, no, it's just not there. It's not a bad thing. You know, don't crucify yourself. Don't feel like you're less than because it hasn't been established, or it's not established at this moment. You know, it might actually be something for a later time. It might not be in your best interest to connect with her at this moment in time. You know, we don't have all the answers. We can just go with what we've been given. Don't reflect on the situation negatively. It's actually a good thing. What it means is that you're not in such a horrible circumstance. Is usually what it means. You're not in such a horrible circumstance in which you have to resort to desperate needs. It usually means that you got this. You can handle this. You don't need spirit intervention. You know, you have the ability within yourself to correct the situation without her intervention. You know, that's a good thing. So it means that you're not at the bottom of the barrel. You know, it means that you're not at the end of a downward spiral. It means that there is hope. There is resurrection from here. You can do it yourself. Or there might be other spirits that can intervene on your behalf, and she's not the one. You know, that sometimes, you know, that's what happens is you might have a lot of spirits in your court. You might be dealing with whole pantheons, whole groupings of spirits. And you feel a connection with them, but you don't feel one with her. Well, it's because she might not be part of your group. As romanticized as she is, and as her imagery is so awe-inspiring and she's so cool, it doesn't always mean that she's meant to be with you, and especially not at that moment. You know? You can be in love with her all you want. You can be in love with the idea of her. You can be in love with the testimonies from other people. But your path is your path. She might not be meant for you. And that's something that people don't want to hear. You know, so don't try to think of it as every other spirit in comparison is lesser to her. No. Every other spirit is their own spirit. They all have their properties. They all have their benefits. They have their flaws. They're just like people. You know, just because, you know, so-and-so is not in your life doesn't mean that the other people that are in your life are less than. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to word it properly. A death current, a death energy is always last resort. Okay? It's always going to be last resort. It's going to be the most fierce and powerful energy that you're going to be dealing with. And in the end, you have to keep up with that energy. And sometimes some people can't handle it. And she knows that. That's another reason why she won't come to some people, is because they can't handle it. It's too tough. And I'm not saying that to make you feel inferior. I'm saying that because some people have already had that exposure to that kind of current, and they've adapted because they had to. Nobody wants to adapt to that kind of energy. They did out of necessity. Okay? And, you know, Susie Q, who has never had this kind of exposure and has had a pretty decent life, sees her friends doing it and thinks it's so cool, all the while her friends have been through some shit. And here they find themselves, finally stable, you know, finally feeling a connection, finally at a point in their lives to where things are leveling out. But Susie Q doesn't see that. Susie Q is like, oh my God, it's so cool. I want to be just like them. But Susie Q doesn't know what it takes to be in that situation. Okay, Susie Q, do you want to nearly drown? Okay, Susie Q, do you want to have been in an abusive relationship? Do you want to not know what it's like to live from one day to the next? Do you want to know what it's like to be poor in the street? Do you want to know what it's like to have a family member on the deathbed and you're just totally emotionally distraught? You don't know what the hell to do. Do you want to go through all those things because it's cool to have what other people have? You know, people don't think about those things. And that's usually the situation that a lot of devotees were or are or going to be in, to have Santa Muerte with them. You know? And so it's like, really, really, really think about why you want her in your life. Be honest with yourself. Is it because it looks cool? Well, I can guarantee you that the cool is going to wear off real quick. If she accepts you, and once you have to start pulling in your end of the bargain, you know? Because nothing is for free in this life. Nothing is for free in death, apparently, either. So think about it. Think about why you want this so bad. Is it worth it? You know, and I'm saying that as 100% devotee for the rest of my life. I love that spirit. Or else I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. I love what she does for people. I love her energy. It matches mine perfectly. I love what she has done for me. And I love the challenges that she gives me. The obstacles. The lessons and hard knocks. That's how I get taught. That's me. But I don't know about you. Are you willing to get knocked on the floor by her to learn these lessons, to get over your fears, to get over your hardships, your hurdles? You know, it's like all exposure therapy. You gotta decipher all those things before you try to get upset that she's not coming to you or that she didn't accept you. But I heard she accepts everybody. What? At one point in life, yeah, sure, she accepts everybody. But if you're coming at it from like a magical perspective or from I want something out of this because I heard she gives things to people really quickly type of perspective, well, consider why that happened for those people. You know, consider why they developed a relationship with her. So to some people, she just appeared to them. They didn't have a choice in the matter, like myself. I was scared to death. Scared to death of death. Scared to death of her appearing to me. She appeared to me physically. That was the first time I ever saw her physically. So, all things to consider, guys. So don't be all pissed off because she hasn't come to you. Maybe she's just not meant for you, and that's not a bad thing. You know, don't discredit the powers of other spirits too. You know? Don't don't knock it just because you don't know about it. Like, don't be jealous neither. Don't be jealous of other people that have her and you don't. It ain't like that. It don't work like that. You know, that you're just, if you're jealous because somebody has her and you don't, you're romanticizing the whole thing. And that's not how it really is. It's work. Okay? It's real work. It is daily work. It's like having a kid. Oh, the babies are all cute and cool and cuddly on TV. But if you have one in person, oh, you can ask anybody that's a parent. That's a whole other story. You know? So just, yeah, try not to get upset. Try not to get upset if you haven't heard anything after a couple of months, or if you just don't feel the presence. Try somebody else. If you really, really want spirit intervention, try somebody else. Google spirits. I don't know. Ask your friends. You know, do some research as to what is it exactly that you're looking for. You know, maybe you don't need spirit intervention at all. Maybe you can just do it all yourself. We have that inherent power. You know, we're capable of a lot. You'd be surprised on how much we attract into our lives. And we don't need spirit intervention to do it. So, I know this is a long-winded video, but I just wanted to get that out there. I mean, whether you have her acceptance or not, still continue learning, you know. But don't get upset, you know, don't get angry that you don't have her. It's not a race thing. It's not a gender thing. It's not a sexuality thing. It's not a status thing. It has nothing to do with that. Our flesh and our position on this earthly plane has nothing whatsoever to do with her acceptance. Her acceptance is dependent on a lot of factors, and usually it's kind of like a magnetism. If your energy does not match hers in all of its various forms, then you guys just aren't going to match. You can't force an attraction. It's going to happen or it's not. You'll attract another spirit, you know? So anyway, I'm just repeating myself. So that's about all I have to say for today. Pardon my sickness, but we all have it down here. Like, everybody's sick. So, and I swear to God, if somebody messages me down there and says, well, why didn't Santa Muerte cure you? Shut up. We all get sick. It's this human form. I never get sick. So when I do, it happens very hard. So anyway, I swear to God, I will slap the person digitally that tells me, well, Santa Muerte should have cured you. Shut up. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you have great holidays, okay? I hope your holiday season goes over really well. I hope you get everything you want. And I hope what you want is not too much. And also, a little side note, I just want to let you know that I'm going to be redoing this channel. I'm going to be making like an intro and an outro, make it a little bit more professional, a little bit more user-friendly. And for those of you that buy from the Etsy store, I've started to revamp that as well. We're going to get big statues like that one over there. You see that one over there? It's about a 2-footer, roughly. I'm going to get some of those. I'm going to get a few. I'm going to get some smaller ones like this. Ones that will be safe to ship. Okay? But I'll let you guys know all that on Instagram or on Facebook. Not so much right here, because this channel is mainly about information. But yeah, questions, comments, dislikes, likes, whatever. Let's just try to keep it respectful down there, okay? Let's just talk like people down there in the comment section. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll do my best to get back to them as quickly as I can. That's about it for now. I, once again, hope you guys have good holidays, and I'll see you guys in the next video.